Thank you for attending our second session for today. And this session, we will continue with the slide for the literature review from Dr. No. And then Dr. No will discuss further about the literature reviews, and maybe it is based on the sample, then based on the your own, based on the question that has been raised by you. So for this session, okay, we would like to at least maybe within a minute, Dr. No Ola will be online. So if your question wasn't answered during the live event, okay, maybe you can email to us. You can reply our email, the same email that has been sent to you, okay, regarding the invitation to the webinar session. And then and at the same time, you can still contact us by WhatsApp or by our email address as well. And you can access the slide for the presentation after we have done with this session. Okay. And then next week, we will upload this webinar session via YouTube channel. So please do not forget to subscribe to our DHU, DRB-HICOM, University channels of YouTube. Okay, please wait for a while. So before we are waiting for Dr. No Ula.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Sorry, I thought it's 2:30. I don't know, maybe I read it incorrect. Okay.
Okay.
So we'll be starting, hands-on experience about systematic literature review, but I would recommend those who have access from university side, you can log into Web of Science and Scopus. So if when I do, you can also have one practice. If not, then simply I will share my screen and you can do it later. So do you have access to Web of Sciences and Scopus? I hope so. Most of you will have.
Not all of us.
Okay, not Scopus, I'm afraid. Okay, if you have even Web of Sciences would be fair enough because the protocol is the same. So how many of you have access to Web of Science? And I can also teach you how to open up your Web of Science account. So later on, if you're not in university, you can still use it and you can have access to. Okay, some mixed kind of responses. Yes, no, yes. Okay, those, I think most of you are somehow like, part of university in terms of being a PhD student or a master. So you should all have login, what we call it, which we can use and you can, use these databases. Yeah. The slides you will get from probably Dr. Summary. Recording, I think it's on. I think the recording session. So for those matter, probably you can contact them. Yeah. Okay, so let's proceed. If you have any question which is left from the previous section, so please you can ask. Any question related to literature or any other question from the previous section? I think slides will be given. I dropped my email also, so I can send you the slides, no problem. You just contact me through my email, no problem. May I know the number of students? I would encourage, let's say, if you are greatly involved in participation. So now definitely they invite me, especially because one of the professor, he got busy. So why not in future also we can do some sort of workshops, not just on literature and other things. So I would be happy if, let's say, my email is there, and if kind of I'm not sure how they channelize these contacts. I think I will spoke to them also later on. So we can have sessions like this, more interactive sessions, as I mentioned, not just for literature review, but normally overall as academic session where people discuss and share views. So we can also have that. Okay, so let's proceed. Okay, let me very quickly discuss this. There are two ways to get into this Web of Science, right? In fact, it's not free, but you can get institutional access. So the first way is most of your university should have a database. So I think I will share that one first. Let's say if I want to log in through my university account, so every university have a different subscription globally, I think different universities. So you need to ask your university to give you you can use university email and create a account in university. Like suppose you go here. Now, definitely I have my university credentials, so I can click in. So suppose this is my university credential. You see here. So all these databases, the one we mentioned for systematic literature review is available. So I can just show all. So these are all available databases. You can have Ibisco, you can have Emerald. So I will go to Web of Science. We have Scopus, so we can open both Scopus and Web of Science. I just use Control F because okay, so this is Web of Science. You can see here this option, Web of Science. So Web of Science, remember one thing, we have multiple, like the one we call Clarivate Analytics, right? But this one we call Web of Science. Web of Science. Just want to show you, I think. Okay, this is Scopus already open. I will go to here. Web of Science, so Web of Knowledge. This is called Web of Knowledge. You see here, when you go to Google, not this one, Web of Science Group, Clarivate Analytic Master List, this one, you have to come here, Web of Knowledge. So it is from Web of Science with like slight different orientation. So you have to click here. Now, since I have the login on Peblan, so it allowed me direct access. Suppose I'll press here. Sorry, I think. You see here, it's my account. So once you got access, you can use your you can sign up through this account and you can create your own account. So if next time you're not at university, you can still access to this account. And this has multiple purposes. This account can check for you any journal which is have impact or not, which is on which because normally students have confusion when they talk about quartiles Q1, Q2. Normally, some student counts the Scopus Q1, Q2, which is incorrect. Scopus have a side score, not impact factor. Remember one thing. So most of journals, they will just put their journal, oh, they have this much impact factor, but they're not. So if you want to check impact factor of any journal, this is the right place to check. Okay. So Web of Science, okay, this is called Web of Knowledge, as I mentioned. If you don't have login, you cannot log in here. So either you access through university, normally almost all good university they have. And this is the Scopus database, which normally also you can use. So here now both, since here I didn't log in through my account, I already from university, so it gave me access, but can also log in through my account as well. So let me just very quickly show you. Okay, so these were the two ways doesn't matter. You log in through that one, this one, but these are the two interfaces. Now let's begin with our, I think the first, just want to show you they have different options. So let's say if I want to check a journal impact factor or quartile range, so I can put it on publication title and just put the journal name here. Let's say sustainability. You can see here, the journal come here. I need to click here. It can show me now. They slightly changed the interface. Normally it will use to show the impact factor here, but they change it if you want to make more than, but it shows it's Q2 on environmental sciences. Okay. Green and sustainable science and technology Q3. Any other journal, let's say, you can see the journal through this way. These are basically, it's very important. Some student doesn't have the know-how when you call them in which journal you publish a paper or from where the citation. So they will say Web of Science, but they don't know. So in Web of Science, we have different categories. SACI, all these journals are in the master list and they have impact factor. But other journal who is in the Web of Science list, they call ESCI, Emerging Source Citation Index, but they are not impact factor. So Scopus journal doesn't come in this category. So that's why when we want to do systematic literature review, so we do Scopus and Web of Science both, because some journals which are Scopus and Web of Science, they can come either you search through Web of Science or Scopus, but some journals, they are not, they are Scopus but not Web of Science. Some journal are Web of Science, but they're not Scopus. So remember, these are two big databases currently we have. So that's the reason basically we use both. Okay, now here, if you want to search any topic, so make sure you know these labels you see here. So if I was searching the journal name, so my the option I picked, that was publication titles. Okay, but if I put topic or title, so I can use this one. If you want to see your, papers, like it is, you publish a paper, is coming on Web of Science or not, so you can put your name here, because it's pick first last name first and then followed by so this is one of my latest articles, so you can see it's coming here. So I need to find, you say this is my another article. So if I click on my article, it will show my details. So this is the way, this is the purpose how we use this for multiple purposes. Now right away, I think I will just start with the process. Like let's suppose I'm doing, I'll just put it all fields. Let's say I'm doing research on, let's say on pro-environmental behavior, or maybe let's say, yeah, let's put it that way. Okay, I hope so, spell is correct. Just want to cross check with the because some people write it with a space, some people write it like that. So this is be very careful. You see, I was searching pro-environmental, but I put a dash in between. So make sure to use the correct label. Okay. Okay, we're all good. So now you see here, my screen is visible, right? Please give me a feedback.
Yes, Prof, visible.
So now you see here, there are 6,849 results on Web of Sciences. When I say Web of Sciences, meaning that SSCI or ESCI, these two category under Web of Sciences. There is maybe Scopus, but as I mentioned to you, some journals indexed at both databases, Scopus and Web of Sciences, some are not. So that is the reason we do Scopus as well together. So now if you recall the paper, the discussion, what we did in the morning. So now let's say if I want to write paper on this, so I'll first say what? Pro-environmental behavior. Let's say it's 8,049, but this very generic, right? Now I will link my DV with that, like performance, but doesn't make any difference if you're gonna link or not, but just to show you how the process. So this is a pro-environmental behavior. Let's say if you're a management student, if you're a business student, or even for that matter, maybe from other sciences. So these are all the records based on pro-environmental behavior. But now we didn't introduce any antecedents or DV or whatever. So I will go here, analyze results. Okay, they have like, okay, so now you see here 1,006 head paper in environmental sciences and these different disciplines, environmental psychology, studies, because it's related to the green hint. But you see, if I'm a management student, 331 here in management, business. So these both are overlapping, but you can take any one. Okay. When we go here, let me just go back. You can restrict here your parameter. The one we discussed, remember that I will include only articles. Maybe I'm not including conference proceedings. So you see here these takes. From here, you can restrict. Even if you sometimes, some people say early access article, they don't include because it's not very, I mean, they just cited or sometime. So you see this, the number of years. So the Cont you see here. Since OCB is a main construct, it was by Oregon in 1988. So it's starting from 1981. Okay, that's the reason, right? So one of your question was why, if we choose the last 10 year, 10, 20 year, you can, but you have to justify. So there is no harm to do from the start. This is the number of article by categories. Let's say when you are writing your systematic literature review, so you can say, oh, which article you skip. So you can see here, 6121 is primarily article. The rest are like, let's say, meeting abstract, proceeding papers, early access. So you can say, I'm not including editorial material. I'm not including notes. I'm not including book reviews. So you can right away skip it. But if you want, you can include it. So here, everything is available. Your job as a researcher is to navigate. I mean, the resources there, the facilities are there, you have to navigate. So that we're gonna do, you will do that by yourself. So you can refine here, let's say if you choose, you have to pick the one, but right now we're going by default. Now, this is very important, Web of Science categories. So now there are different categories you can see here, as I mentioned to you earlier. So if you are a management, let's say you're from tourism, you want to look into detail the tourism part, you're from business. So these are different. So definitely being a business student, I'm not going to jump into other areas unless I'm doing multidisciplinary research. So these are, you can see across different disciplines. So one of the question was, let's say if somebody already did systematic literature review on pro-environmental behavior. So what should I do? So maybe it's not necessarily that person is from business. Maybe he's from health. Maybe he's from environment. So you see there's a wider scope, and definitely different discipline people doesn't jump into this. So this is the first point. But majority you can still explore. If it is the same area, you can still explore different antecedents. Now here, otherwise, sometimes this question being asked in the interview, let's say if your research area is pro-environmental behavior, in your Viva, one of the question can be, so in your opinion, which author is the most prominent researcher in this area? So if you went through systematic traditional literature review, you have no idea. Maybe the first who one developed the construct and all. So here you can see the prominent authors in this area, right? You can see here the prominent authors. But this is by frequency, not by order of, So sometimes, let's say you need a specific author paper, so you can also see here. You see, like suppose if I want to just go by Hen has 48 papers in this area. So if I click here, I can get all these papers in one go. So that was the reason. Remember, I told you using Google Scholar is not good with the reason because over there you cannot download paper in a one go. You have to go one by one. But here I will show you now. Now, of course, the paper which is paid, maybe you can't, but the one, let's say if it is available on Google Scholar, ResearchGate, other area, you can get it in a single click. I will show you that how to do that. Another thing, for this reason, you will be needing some sophisticated software like EndNote, Mendeley, whatever you have. The RIS version, you can, the RIS version, you can upload all those references into EndNote, to Mendeley as well. So you will be needing, that's why I request you all switch over to software management system rather than doing manual one, because when you send your paper for publication, you can't publish it in good journal if you don't use any, because normally you have to do it anyway. So better to do it from the start. So now I'll just go to EndNote and I'll see if I have. I will just, for you, for this purpose only, I will open a new library. On desktop, let's say workshop. So see here, I created this workshop library, right? I will try to just keep it open. And this will work for you in amazing ways. So you can store your paper on different subjects. And why I use EndNote, because it has unlimited capacity to store data. Mendeley is good, it's free, but to a certain extent, if the data, surpass the existing limit, then that will not work. So it depends on you. You have to buy, subscribe then. Okay, so now let me just go here, and I will take small scale of papers, because if it is more paper, maybe it's downloading take longer because my home internet is not that good. So here I will, let's say I will just showing you these. Okay, these are the title. Sorry, these are okay. These were the name. Remember that one of the table was showing from which journals you put how many papers. So this is for that reason. Later on, you can specify. You can see here publication title by paper by journals. So most of the paper is from sustainability, 381, Journal of Psychology, cleaner production. These are the top journals. So sometime, let's say, you know, when you send a paper for review, some author recommend you please cite some paper from cleaner. So you don't need to interview. You can go here and just pick all these paper. Now this is by publisher. You see now, so all these publisher which is coming inside the Web of Science. So that's why sometime when you use Web of Sciences, then you don't need to use other databases, because you see here in Web of Sciences is covered elsewhere, because I said some journal, both Scopus, Web of Science, Springer, MDPI, Taylor and Franks, Valley, Sage, Emerald Group Publishing, Frontier, and all this. So it's almost cover all those major databases, IEEE and all. Here you see if you're working for any organization, you want to see how much funding paper is available. So these are the top funding institutions. If you want to see, apart from that funding issue, you want to see, let's say, editorial. This is very important, each research areas. So you see, countries by region. So this is, I think I already showed to you. Languages, which is very important if you are not primarily from English. And then, you know, the Web of Science indices. So you understand if you want to mark anything here to customize, you can do that, but we'll just go by default. I want to see maybe bar chart. So normally, if I want to write a paper, I will search both the databases, Web of Science and Scopus, but I would recommend to keep the figures from Scopus, because Scopus figures are more better in terms of orientation. So you see here, it also shows you the percentages, like you see here, environmental science has a bigger percentage, 24%. Now, if I want to, let's say, download these papers, so here I'll just give you a small idea. Let's say I want to export, and I'm using desktop in Node. I'm not picking all 6,000, but let's say I will just record from, let's say, 100 articles, and I'll put full custom full record. Okay, then export. So you see here, I'll go to my downloads, and this is the source. I'll just click on my downloads, and I want to open workshop in Node library on my desktop. And you see, I get all the references in a one go into EndNote. So you remember in the past, we were supposed to do it manually, and it's very hectic. From here, I can do my references, and I'll show you how to do that. So here, the good thing is, let's say this 100 article is related to what? This is related to, let's say, pro-environmental behavior. So what I will do here, I will open up a new folder, okay, and then I will okay. So here, let's say if I will create a new group, but I just want to, you see here, recently added articles. So you can make a group and you can put that into that group. So you can, like, later on, but I just show you one now. So okay, now I got all these articles here, but just hold on 1 minute. I can also, when we talk about systematic literature use, so primarily we need that information like about abstract. So I can also do one thing. I can say export. Now here is the Excel sheet you can see here. And I want to take this first 1 to 100 article into my Excel sheet. So let's say I already done the references there. Now I'll get my all sources, full record, export. Now you can see here all these records available here now in terms of like author's name, number of years. Like, I mean, I just put all the detail with abstract and with everything. So this is your proof, what you have. But remember here is the abstract only, but definitely on the basis of abstract, you can decide, is it the paper relevant to me or not? If yes, then what you can do here, you go back here and I'll open my EndNote file. So the good thing about here is that okay, the good thing about here is that I will go to file. Sorry, I will select first. Okay, control, come on, A. I select all the article and then I'll just left. I will click here. I think it need to be selected. It doesn't select. Okay, so I would just put here. You see here, find full text. So now when I put find full text, it will start here. You see here, it's, I'm not very good with the touchpad because normally I use, okay. Now I have 100 articles. Now it's finding for me the full text. Now remember here, those paper you cannot download which is paid or something. So for that reason, definitely you need to go for a proper, but the thing which is available on Google or any other different interface, it will automatically pick for you. You see here the count is begin, but dependency speed is slow. So the more you can see these icons, okay, you are getting these papers. So maybe let's say if you didn't get 100%, but still you can get more than 50+%. And this is the way I told you, like you have to go, suppose if you want to use Google, you have to go one by one, check. And then here you get all the papers, then you see what is relevant to you, what is not relevant to you. So this work for you this way. I think it's working, but I just said just to make sure how much is. So it's, so far it's got 25 papers for me. You see here, there are two categories. These are the full text. Okay. This is not found. Okay, the cross one not found. Okay, this is the article I'm getting through. So if I click on any of the article, you see here, this is the article. If I go down, I can find the paper here. You see here. So by this is the way how I just close because I think it's taking longer. And just refresh. So far it got 56 papers, and which is fair enough. Around 60 plus, it will get through 70 maybe. So the one with tick is not a full paper, but probably the abstract, because certain paper are early access, so you can't get there. So you see here, around 62 papers I got, and it's again depend on the topic. So if the topic is novel or others, it depend again. I said so. Probably you saved a lot of labor work. Imagine somebody tell you download for me 50 article. I think it will take you more than a couple of hours to do that. So this is the one benefit. The first benefit, your all references get into EndNote. So later on, when you doing from here to your citation, that will be very easy for you. Okay, I'm not teaching EndNote now, but I just want to show you how it works. I think I'll just close up because so many files running. My own work as well, so it's a little slow here. Okay, now we're coming back here. So this was I should now, this is the data from where you can generate your log table. How many article, when, how, and then you can use all this Excel sheet. Even you can generate graph from here, which is not in the scope of this class. So I will just stop here. But as I mentioned to you earlier, these are the databases which we can do a lot of different things as well. Let me now quickly, I hope you understand, because this is the rest, what we discuss in the steps you have to apply, but you get a rough data which you can use. Here, let me just go to Scopus now. Let's say I just want to, and here also you have multiple, so I'll just put on all fields. Now you see here how many articles is pick. Okay. Here also the same kind of, papers, I mean the same description, which was the Web of Science, but the only difference is the graphs. So I would recommend to use the graphs of what do you call Scopus, because the graphs are more better. Okay, now here you can still filter. You can also have a Mendeley option here. Now I will just, let's say, analyze. So you can see a lot of sophisticated graphs, the one you see normally in papers. So this is based on the number of years. This is the overall graph of the whole. This is documents. The one, remember the graph I show you in the presentation where you can see, so you can make a y x-axis and put this one. You can see here the timeline and the different journals. You can see here by authors. Okay. Here you can see by document, by source. This is the most important. You can see by territory, by country. Here you can see by types of documents. Here you can see by subject area. So imagine we just choose business. Let's say we just choose social sciences. Maybe let's say how many other arts and humanities. So let's say we choose business management and accounting. Okay. So you see here, these are the only paper which related to business, 11,000. And then among them, if we, let's say, narrow it down more, okay, if we let's say grow here and we go by subject here. So inside business, then you can farther go down. Like, I mean, we can farther narrow it down. Let's say if I go to economy and econometrics, if I go to, let's say, so these are farther, you are breaking it down. But majority from here is the business one. So here again, by funding institutions. Yeah. So here also, as I mentioned earlier, the same data. So if you want to export this data, but let me just make it a bit small so I can have this. I'll just choose 22 papers. Limit to. Now I just got 849 papers results, which I will just analyze. You can see predominantly these are the statistics. And now I probably want to export this data. So you can get it in a CSV file, Excel sheet. So this is the data you got from Scopus. So that's the reason, if you see the graphs in Scopus is very sophisticated. So that's why if I personally do, I would recommend these graphs, which is normally some people would draw an Excel sheet also. You can do that. And also similarly, you can get the references from here into EndNote as well. So this is the overall orientation, how we gather. This is the extraction and data part. And after that, we start synthesize and everything. So I hope this will be helpful for you in terms of no matter you're writing a literature or not, but I think this will be helpful in terms of whatever you did so far in case, and you want to, I hope most of you will know the, what do you call the EndNote. But if some of you doesn't know, I'll just quickly open a file just to show you how we so let's say if I'm writing about pro-environmental behavior and I got these papers. So let's say if I'm citing the first 3, 4, 5 references. So I can go here. Let's say these are multiple references I'm doing. Okay, I'll go to my Word file. Just write, let's say, so let's say I say pro-environmental behaviors discussed in literature with various labels or names, okay, and I want to put a reference here. So let's say if I'm using multiple references, so referencing, so I will copy, okay. Here I go to tools. You can go here and insert the selected citation. So you see it's came here already, but since it's in a, I think, +1 style, so I need to go change the style. I know. Let's say I go to APA. So this is how we do the citation. So it's easy, and then when you send paper or even do your literature thesis, then there is no chance that you should have a missing reference. And imagine is pick everything. You see the DOI, the whole thing. You can easily change the style of your university or whatever. Let's say I'll go to Chicago. Okay. Just put notes, but normally predominantly we use APA, so I'll go to APA 7. You see here. Now if I want to change any reference here, I'll go here. I will update field, and I can do that here. Sorry, here I can click here, edit and manage site, and if I want to remove any of the reference, so I can remove it. So from here also you can change what do you call it? You see remove citation, and I'll say okay. So if I update, it will change the citation. In fact, here sometime if you want to write a start of the sentence, then the style become changed. So for that matter, we can also, let's say if I want to write according to these, according to it's just, I'll write another one. Okay, here I'll do, okay, according to, if you want to start reference in the start of the reference, then you can change the style here. Update field. So here, this is by default, but you can change the format. Years, authors in years, so you can change for you the style based on, normally you see if this journal is starting, if you're starting a reference with the reference, if you're starting sentence with a reference, then you can write like this. And then you write whatever you write. So this is how we compose a literature. Now another important thing, I need to show you how you should take data from a paper, from a research paper. So normally, what do you call it? I don't know why it's come here over and over. So let's say I'm just taking my paper quickly. Let's say I'm just taking one of my paper about these behaviors. Okay, now if I'm writing a literature, so most of the time student like right away copy paste here, go there and rephrase it, which is kind of okay at a master level, but at a PhD level, I think that's not appropriate. So let's say if I want to, suppose this is the paper which I read and it has something about OCBEs, which is environmental, behaviors for environment. Then, you know, still, as I said, okay, still if you're copy pasting, suppose from this paper, you like the, I mean, this passage relevant to you and you want to cite it in your work, then remember you have to cite the original person, not me here, because that's not my quote. You can reference me, cross-reference me, but normally the better way is basically to take your material for literature review, what we know called to cite other people's work. You have to go to the findings, okay? And from findings, you have to take my work. So let's say this study aims to investigate the direct relationship between this and this. In addition, this study also examined, and then what happened? So then we have, let's say, the first objective. The first objective of the study was to investigate the relationship. The current study proposed this, and then here what I mentioned, this is basically the work you need to reference from the discussion part. If you just want to have a glimpse of it, then also you have do from literature, sorry, abstract. So you want to go from here to the abstract, then this is a relatively easy way for those who are in master. So this is, suppose I come to know, so you can say here sustainability is integral part for organization, this and that, and you know, so you can suppose remove the other line, no need to do that. These are the findings, the software part we don't mention in the literature. So here so kind of this is become and then you can reword it to kind of, but this is the original way. Like suppose if you want to mention from the research, and let's say here so my purpose is like tomorrow if someone reading your literature, there will be no overlapping because you did it yourself. But simply if you just go here, that's it. If you simply go the paper, and let's say what normally people would do, like say writing their own introduction, let's say they will just copy paste this one. So I think that is still okay, but then you need to cross-reference because this work is not mine. This is from these sources of what we mentioned. So I think this is the right way to take either from abstract, especially we have systematic abstract where you have abstract findings. So also you can go from there. The paper which are more important for your work, better you read there from the whole paper. But the one, let's say you just want to cite, and you can read abstract only. The one important thing about the paper, normally one gap there are 3 tips to find your gap and design a model. The first gap is that you read literature and you design a model and then cross-check and verify with the literature, which is more logical. The second way is read other paper, future call, and get an idea from there. Let's say if I go here to the future call, you see here future research call. So if you here is in say to advance research knowledge on green HRM practices, OCBE, EMS, and sustainable performance based on the previous literature and current discussion, future direction are recommended. This study use OCBE and EMS as a single order construct. So other studies can use it as a second order. Future research should use both construct as a multidimensional. This study measure performance as a reflective, so other can use as a formative. We use subjective data for performance, so other can use objective. Future research should replicate this with a larger model sample size and using moderation effects of company background. So this is basically future call. So if suppose someone want to use the same model, I'm specifically talking about master and doctoral, definitely you have to change so much. But here, if somebody want to use, let's suppose moderating variable here, so that will become a kind of contribution, or maybe change, replace with another variables, but still you can go with the IV and DV together. You can come up with other novel constructs to design your model. So the first way, as I mentioned, but if I tell you my way, how I definitely, apart from the systematic literature, because systematic literature cannot draw a model for you. Model you have to draw anyway by yourself. So I think the systematic that help you in which area there is a loophole or capacity in which countries, and especially if you are in, like, say, in country specific, you can download and read all those paper. I think let me just show you. If you see here carefully, let's say if I go to country specific, if let's say I have to go country specific, so let's say if I'm doing in context of Malaysia, so I can choose the country and then I can really see how much the context and gap there. So you see here, if I want to do in Malaysia, so I just stick Malaysia and refine. Now you see these paper entirely now based in the Malaysian context. So if I want to, let's say, what do you call it? If I want to specifically study in context of Malaysia and justify the gap, I just need to read this 166 article. So that enough for me to know which variable are never been explained and which are explained. So it also enable you just to, I think if you see here, maybe if we analyze here, I'm not sure, analyze. Okay. If you let's see by authors. So if you see here all authors, so this is, I think, my articles here. All these articles which is somehow related to organizational behavior. Okay, so this is how it works. Okay, so you want to see country specific analysis, you want to see region specific analysis, I mean, this is the tool that enable you basically to facilitate your research work. The rest, definitely the labor work need to be done by you anyway, but that helps you a lot and save your time to do that. Okay, now I think before I need to check the time. Is it when the okay, I think it ends up to 4 o'clock. So I think better I go towards your, if you want to share, I think I can also will share a few review papers with you. Let me see if I can have that. This is just an example very quickly. You see here, this article written is published, I think, in Organization and Environment's Impact Factor Journal. The measurement of green workplace behavior, systematic review. Now, this article specifically focus on the instrument, the measurement of green workplace behavior. Okay. So this is the abstract. Okay, the literature on green behavior adopted by individual in workplace setting and has grown significantly over the past decade. Many studies have examined the factors that are associated with both individual action with individual actions. However, comparability of the studies conducted on this subject has a common concern. What is that common concern? Mainly because of the wide range of measurement tools based on different methodological maturity, the upper green workplace behavior based on systematic research. So what he did basically, a systematic review on this topic, review search published. You see the range of subjects between 1977 to 2016. So that really doesn't matter the timeline because you'll be choosing specific paper. 5 major trends were identified from 53 article review as a part of research. What was the first trend? The predominance of scales measuring green office behavior, the redundancy in the certain items. 3, the limited factor devoted to the pro-environmental behavior. So all these you see here, only 53 articles finally they read, but definitely they applied systematic protocols. So you have to do the same introduction. Normally what we do based on your paper. So here they mention about discretionary and non-discretionary behavior and they categorize it. So parameter 1, types of behavior. You see these themes you need to decide yourself in which way you want to go. So parameter 1, which types of behavior. So you can see they discuss different topics, job related, workplace related, individual different. So this one you have to mention. So this is their 4 parameters, conserving, avoiding harm, transforming. These are the key themes. This paper were influencing others, taking initiatives. This is one of the scale types of behavior by Wons and Delhert. Levels of influence, the second parameter. So on which capacity is employees. Level of inclusion in the workplace, parameter number 3. Which was the method they applied? They mentioned here. You see here the inclusion exclusion criteria. Okay. So they discuss here what they do, how they do, and then they talk about these key principles. Research strategy, remember, revise your strategy. So what strategy you use? The first stage involved creating an optimal sequence of words. Keywords were classified into categories: organizational context, green behavior, and the natural environment. Subsequent of the keywords see validated in Appendix 1A. So normally in a research article, the detailed things we put in the appendix. We download articles and green articles we published from 1970. Their databases we widely use. Web of Science and Business Source, you see here. This is exclusion and inclusion criteria. Some people will make a chart, some people will put it like that one. So temporal time horizon, that's from November to November 2016. All paper before November and after 16. Types of research design, so some of them theoretical, some of them empirical, quantitative, qualitative. Quality criteria, you see here, inclusion, index peer reviewed papers, so mean those who have reviews in a proper journal. Books and professional journal are excluded. Language of publication, they mostly focus on English and French, Spanish and other languages, so European studies, so they probably is from France because the second language is French. Place of intervention, so all types of organization, private economy, public body, the concept, green behaviors, okay. And then unit of analysis, all types of, they didn't, like some article will only discuss paper with unit of analysis organization, some will say individual, some will say group level, so they just do all types. I think they discussed properly how they did, so you can see here, this is the table. Also you can make like this, and this you can do from the Web of Science cycle. I show you the total number of article in the database, 8,226 article found manually. Also, like suppose some article may be not downloadable here, so you can pick it from other sources. Researcher duplication, so sometime, let's say when you use Scopus and Web of Science together, there will be duplication of article. So you can do that. And then select article 7,000, then you see all article excluded in the first place, selecting title and abstract. So let's say you read the title and abstract, you say you find it's relevant, you keep it. You believe it's not relevant, you scan it, you remove it. So during that process, 6,890 was excluded because that was not relevant. Papers left for the complete verification with the full text, the full text protocol I told you through in Node. And then items considered suitable for the date and abstraction, 67. And then publication did not correspond to the exclusion, there was this. So this is the whole, this is called systematic protocol. So no matter you read 30 article, 50, but as I mentioned, normally it's the range from 50 to 100, 150, depending upon your scale. Like I saw certain areas which is very niche, so maybe it's good enough just to read 30 article. Is again depend upon on the topic you choose. This is the one you can manually make this table from the source citation journals, with journals, and from where you collected how many. Medium of publication, this is quantitative, qualitative, and measurement of items, because they discuss about the methods, methodological papers. So this is the, and then this the conclusion, and for the future. So this part is important. This is the crux of the paper. This is, you can see the information from the table. And this one, if I can rotate it, thing apparently I can't, but this is basically the table which you get from the Excel sheet, where you can see authors and their major findings. So this one you can make from the Excel sheet. And this is the different how they did that. So basically all this data come from those Excel sheet, and this is their own orientation of behavior. I think here also they use a, they make this diagram to show which is the direct, indirect, and extra behaviors. So some little creativity you have to do by your own, that's appreciated by the publisher and reviewers. The rest, I think 50% plus material you can get through here, and then you can do that. Okay, so before I okay, so I think from where we can start the comments, it's just for this session, or was a previous session? Okay, I'll see the time and then I'll. Okay, okay, the question 1, 2, 3, 4. I think the name is probably Chinese, I cannot read. Can we search political science paper here? Yes, you can you can search any topic, starting from medicines, political science, engineering, whatever. So it doesn't restrict the disciplines. Is WOS Web of Science? Okay. Okay, I'm not sure in China how databases are blocked, but I think there are ways to work. So probably you can work. Web of Science account basically is linked with Pebblin. Every researcher, when you want to send paper to journal these days, they will ask you to verify your Pebblin account or ORICD account. So Web of Science account is similar to the like there is account, you can say that's a number for your verification on your papers and the Web of Science database. So Web of Science account is important to open, and Pebblin basically, I think I can quickly show it. So you can also review paper. You can also put your publication there, so it can show your citation score. You can assess why university library use or student material Web of Science. Yeah, I mean, I recommend go to university, open database there, and then I will show you now you have sign up and you use your email, then that will work. Because if you open in home, that will not connect on roaming. So sometimes it's give a roaming issue. So better you log into your account there and then sign up from there. So you have to go to sign up process, put your password, and then you can use it at home. Yeah, so primarily this database will open for search. Primarily we check journals, which is Scopus, which is, sorry, impact factor or not. It's very helpful that way to verify. Okay, question from Anisi one. Okay, Dr. Ulawa, for systematic literature review, how niche we can go. Let's say I inserted few keywords on a very specific topic like overhang, property, company performance, risk. Okay, if results only return 10 articles. Okay, I write and say based on 10 article, is it there? Okay, I think you need to tell me you use which database. You use Scopus or you use Web of Science. So let's say if the area is very niche and very novel, then what we do, we also search on other databases to make sure. But when we search on Web of Science, remember, it's pick a very good paper. So normally on Web of Science, the quantity of paper will be minimum. So better you can try with Scopus, you can try with those other databases like Springer, Amred, depending upon. So as I see in most of paper, normally the papers they review is up to 50 and 50 plus. So I don't see, but I think maybe the labels you're putting, You need to search individually also, like overhang property and company performance. If you search company performance, it will give you more than 1,000 articles. If you get risk management committee or what, so I think you try to do that. If you are getting list article on 2 labels, let's say overhang property and company performance, so here is indication that the research has been not worked out too much. But I think on Scopus normally we get a lot of papers, if not Web of Sciences, because Web of Science journals are limited. There's only impact factor journals. Okay, you can use Mendeley and a node concurrently, but sometimes the issues happen if both install on the same machine and you open your Word file. Sometimes it's trigger the node references, then you need to go to setting again. So I would recommend you can use both, but every time you have to go to the setting in a Word file and tick because let's say if I use a node now, it's the tabs are in the add-in portion of the Word file. But if I use Mendeley, maybe the tick is go there, meaning that at the same time, sometime it's collude. So it's recommended you can install both, but at one time you can use one better. Yeah, I think normally you just go to Google Scholar, write a systematic literature review paper, you get a plenty, but the main idea is just to get a know-how to expose you. So yes, I can email you this. Okay, thank you for the positive comments. Okay, structural literature, how niche we can go. I think I already explained. I think if you send the same, okay. Okay, no matter, you will get the paper, whatever you need from me. It's okay, can be done, no problem. I mean, on average 50 to 60, but as again, it's a rule of thumb. As I mentioned, some scholar will read list paper and make the criteria very tight. But I believe if you have more articles, let's say 1,000 plus on the area, I think better you cover 100 plus. It's more better. But yes, 50 and 60 is also acceptable depending upon, because when you send paper to reviewers, definitely they will see and they have access, so they can also understand why less paper you review. So sometimes they give you a comments, put more papers and all this. Yes, I mean, these databases are helpful to see how much coverage of your topic is available. And then on that basis, you can decide. Normally, as I mentioned earlier, Web of Science journal are those journal, basically, especially if we talk about master list, these are impact factor journal, which is less in quantity as compared to Scopus. So that's why we normally get minimum article as compared to, what do you call, as compared to Web of Science. And Node is not free of charge, you have to buy, or either you install it from university library if they have access to. Yes, the coverage of the article in Scopus is maximum as compared to Web of Science. But as I mentioned, Web of Science articles are good in quality as well, because some journals are also on the Web of Science and also on the Scopus. But if you see a trend nowadays, these normal journals we just get Scopus coverage for 1 year and then they publish very material which is not quality oriented. So that's why I said to watch and see. Even you can see the journal quality and then you can select. Certain journals you can remove in exclusion criteria if the quality is not good. Okay, so any further question? I cannot see because some of the questions are similar. So if not, then probably I think there's another 20 minutes in hand. So please. Any individual want to ask question, please?
Dr. Noor, can you please once again try to open the web of science, and how can help us to search within our area? I just can't get at the first step.
Okay. So you can simply go here. First of all, you have to go to the main search box here. Can you see it now?
Yes, doctor.
So where you were confused, which part?
I tried to go to the web of science that interface, but I can't go to that interface.
Can you share your screen with me?
Okay, I'll try.
I think you should have the host. So I think Dr. Zamri should make you the host. I'm not sure.
Okay, Dr. Noor.
Okay, I think you have to go to the last one, the third one, please. Web of knowledge, down, down, down. Yeah. No, no, not this one. Just go down. Yeah, the top one, this one. Just click on, no, 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 not this one. The web of knowledge, down, slightly down.
Here.
Can you just type in Google web of knowledge?
Is it here, doctor?
Yes. Now here is it. I think if you have a Peblan account, you can open. But since you don't have either, which university you are belong to?
Nottingham University.
Nottingham.
Yeah, Malaysia.
Yeah, I understand. So I think you can register, but you can see here they have different coverages. So either you can ask your library that how you can get login. Or if you have login on campus facility, you have to open this site and then you will create your account.
Okay, okay, doctor.
And then account you can use in home. But since can you check your institution list here, if you can see? Check on the institution, yeah.
There's no.
There will be one. There will be one link. Malaysian, something like. Can you? I mean, Malaysian something for some university they haven't. But I think Nottingham come from UK, so they will have access to my Ethans. Can you see my Ethans here? Ethans are my Ethans. I mean. You can just click on one, type A. Just bring the one, click A maybe. Ethan's, okay, Hopkins.
But it's okay that I'll try to ask my librarian about this. Thank you.
Yeah, you can simply, and then when you use that one, when you reach here in the sign in, then you can sign up your account. So you just use your account, you'll get an email, and then because let's say if somebody open for you, let's say I have access here. If I want to open for you, but you will have a roaming issue. So better to be open on the the main server, so then you can use it in home.
Okay, sure. Thank you, Dr.
Okay, any more question? Okay, I believe this session would help you in your proposal, thesis, and paper write-up. I think I left in the comments my email ID. I will share the screen as well. So some other time probably also we can have a different sessions, right? But I mean to say we can develop a mechanism. So I think from now onward, I'll just for a while I will share my screen, and then you can this is my, if you want to see my paper on ResearchGate, so this is my information. You can approach me through email, through WhatsApp. Okay, the keyword for your area of interest, definitely based on your topic, which area you are doing. So every, as I mentioned, let's say if you talk about performance, so we have different labels: organizational performance, firm performance, company performance. These are different labels. So it's based on your research area, and you can get it from literature. Okay, I just want to quickly ask, my students from UMK are in the session or not?
We are, yes.
How many, all of you there? Or?
Yes, we are.
Okay, good, because some of my master students from UMK, from my, I think, my DBA class. Okay, Dr. Zamri, let me just check if there's more question. Okay, no problem. I think most of the student concerned about slides. I think they will definitely share with you. Okay, in case of any issue, I left my email. I think you can get it from here. Okay, so can we give it a final?
Okay. Okay, thank you so much, Dr. No. Okay. Thank you so much for your fruitful discussion with the student, especially regarding the systematic literature review. And then hopefully they have learned a lot through these sessions. And just one thing that I would like to remind you all, for everyone, please do not forget to join us again next week, okay, for the research methodology and result and discussion. Okay, will be presented by Professor Dr. Rosalina from Universiti Malaysia, Kelantan. And till then, see you next time. And please be alert with your email. We will send you with the slide for the past 2 weeks. And then we will share with you the link to the YouTube channel from us, from the main organizer, DRB-HICOM University, and our collaborators, okay, from UMK, UNITAR International University, and City University, Malaysia. Okay, thank you and see you again. Okay.
One more thing, I think I just remind you, I want to take any official picture.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, hopefully you can switch on, turn on the video. Okay, we have about 5 pages here. Only participant in page 1 and page 2 are turn on the video. Okay, it's okay. So okay, I take the picture for the first page first. Okay, one more time. Okay, Dr. No, maybe if you can take it for your record as well.
You want me to take a snapshot?
Yes, yes, just in case, maybe you can use your mobile phone.
Okay. I took the snapshot. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I think I need to put the background. Maybe last time you told me so. Dr. Zamri, maybe you can take another shot.
Boleh, boleh. Sorry, Doctor.
I put your background, university background. I think you.
Okay, okay. So now I'm going to the second page. Okay, second page we have only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, including Puan Eli ada nampak ni? Okay. So, okay. Okay, I can see you from Universitas. Right. Maybe we can have more. Yes, we can see Asana and then Heaping. Okay, so I take the picture. Okay, done. Okay, I think that's it. Okay, that's all for now. So hopefully we can meet you again next week for the next session. Okay, and I guess that is actually the most interesting section because we have Professor Dr. Rosalina from Universiti Malaysia Kelantan, and then she will deliver the title for the research methodology and research and result and discussion. So then, okay, see you next time, and thank you so much for your time and effort to join us for today's session. Okay, bye.
Okay, thank you, and have a
Bye.
good day,
Thank
a good
you.
night.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Doc.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, organizers.
Thank you. Thanks,
Thank you.
Okay.